Support for Just Seen It comes from Fandor, dedicated to supporting independent films and filmmakers. Movies from around the world are available at fandor.com/PTV. Fandor, all for film.
Gentlemen and ladies, soldiers of the United States Army Reserve, welcome to Abu Ghraib.
We interviewed Luke Moran, the writer, director, and star of the riveting new war drama, Boys of Abu Ghraib.
Hi, I'm Zorianna, and I'm here with Aaron, and today we welcome Luke Moran to the show. Luke is a writer, director, producer, and actor, star, actually, of the new movie, Boys of Abu Ghraib. Welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How does someone go from seemingly out of nowhere to be a quadruple threat on a movie with some high-profile actors and producers attached?
First of all, thank you for having me here. It's great to be here. I joined the business a few years ago and had a passion for acting and a background in acting. And after a little while, I realized that I just love cinema, I love films, and I wanted to start telling my own stories. So I started studying writing and learning that craft. And as a result of that, directing became sort of the next natural progression to then taking your own story to the fullest extent. So now, I consider myself a filmmaker just as much as an actor. I really love all the crafts. Directing and being able to work with other actors is just amazing because you get to be a part of their experience in the film as well and sort of craft that and just work together on that, which is really great.
So for your first outing, why tackle something like Abu Ghraib that was such a big part of the U.S. history when it comes to the Iraq War?
I really honor what the servicemen and women in our country do. So I've been drawn to doing something involved with the military. And Abu Ghraib was actually something I studied in college. I think I wrote a term paper on it. So it's something that stuck with me. I knew a lot about that environment and what went on there that the common person didn't and what you didn't see in the news headlines. So it really stuck with me, and when I was thinking about a movie I wanted to do, I definitely wanted to do something that involved the soldier's experience and could be beneficial to us and them, kind of connect the dots between what we don't know about what those guys and girls go through, but that they do experience. So when they come back a little bit changed by the war, how we can better understand that. And Abu Ghraib specifically, I thought was an interesting topic because, it speaks to the modern day war, which is different than what it was 50 years ago. Today, part of the front lines is, these detainee centers where military intelligence is so important. And as a result, there's a whole different dynamic in war that people who aren't even firing weapons are coming home with issues and problems because of that. So I really just wanted to shine a light on what it was like for a soldier and a detainee to be in Abu Ghraib at that time.
So when I was researching what happened at Abu Ghraib, I saw some pictures of the cell block, and the cell block that you used to shoot in was almost identical the way you framed it. So how did you find such a perfect place to shoot this?
We looked all over the country for a place that would do justice to the Abu Ghraib prison, which is very specific, very haunting, and that's really a component that we wanted to have change our characters. So we really had to pull that off, and this was really the only place we could shoot it. It was the New Mexico State Penitentiary, which is called Old Main. And in 1978, there was actually the largest riot in U.S. penitentiary history there, and ever since it's been shut down. So prisoners took over the block there, and I won't get into the graphic details, but it was a really horrific where people were murdered and awful things happened there. So as dark as that is, it brought this energy to, we were shooting there and these things happened and, you could see remnants of that riot, which was pretty wild. And it's just a decrepit, rotting place, and that's exactly what Abu Ghraib was. So I think without it, it would have been a totally different story.
What's this? Stress position, technique we use to soften them up. You're supposed to be doing this?
Foreman, these are the guys who capture American journalists, decapitate them slowly, and you're seriously sitting here concerned about a little panty in their face?
How did you manage to wear all those different hats? I'm assuming once you've written the script, that was done and you could put that away. But when you're directing and starring, you're directing yourself and you're in almost every single scene. And then you're a producer, so you're overseeing the overall. How do you do that? Doesn't it get confusing, or doesn't one interfere with the actual acting?
It's really tough because nobody teaches you to do both necessarily, and I hadn't done both before. I've done them individually. So one, you have to have an amazing team around you, like my DP and the other actors, so that you can really rely on them. Like Peter Holland, the DP, at a certain point after a week into it, we're like, oh, do that? Yeah, we're going to do that. And, you know, you come back and you look at the framing and it's perfect and you're good to go. So you don't have to worry about the technical things as much. But the difficulty for me, the largest one, was when you're on set with the other boys and there's 5 guys that I've got to direct, and then think about my performance, and you're in a wide shot, so everyone's on camera at the same time. So in your mind, it's just a lot. So right after the take's finished, I usually have a pad next to me and I write down all the notes that I want to say, and then I'll go one by one to each of the guys. But at the end of the day, it's the casting and the team that you hire at the beginning is the most crucial thing you can do to set up yourself to have a successful shoot, because the cast was so amazing that I'm like, wow, I can't believe you brought that to it. Like, thank you for doing that. I'm not giving you any notes. That was perfect, you know?
Yeah.
Now, just getting back to the film for a minute, did you get help from the military at all in terms of equipment or to help with the lingo to make sure that the Army speak was correct? Because I know they often do that with Hollywood movies.
We didn't get any official help from the U.S. military, but there were a lot of soldiers that we approached with the script and said, you know, if you believe in this, we'd love your help. And a lot of them responded. So we have a couple military advisors on the film who are just incredible. And like, authenticity was a huge thing for us, and making it something that for the guys who were over there and experienced this, they could appreciate it. And without the authenticity, that's not going to happen. So having those guys there was paramount for us.
Well, now that you've worn all the hats, do you think you're going to do it again?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, acting and directing for sure. Those are my main passions. And writing and producing I sort of do to create those opportunities because I really like to collaborate and work with other actors and other crew members on set. That's the best part of the business to me. So whatever I can do to make those things happen.
So what are your hopes for this film? I mean, how's it gone so far, and what do you want it to do?
The main thing we're hoping for is that the military men and women who experienced this or similar things really appreciate it and value its authenticity. And hopefully, I mean, a goal was that, you know, we can better understand what those men and women went through. And the same thing on the detainee side. You know, we want to show every side of the story. So we hope it's received in a way that's not political, like we have an agenda, but that, hey, this is a really interesting insight into what it was like living at Abu Ghraib. And beyond that, I think it touches on a lot of themes and a lot of experiences that people who weren't at Abu Ghraib went through, whether they were stationed at Guantanamo Bay or whether they were just a piece of the Iraq War. So actually last weekend we premiered the film, and we had an incredible turnout with some military folks who had some amazing things to say about the film and how true it was to their experience. So that's the best we could hope for.
Luke, thanks for coming on the show. You're welcome back anytime. We expect nothing but big things from you.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
you
you.
give me hope.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. She's totally white with like one spot.
You have a picture on your iPhone?
I did. I deleted it. I needed the space.
AJA Video Systems, proud supporter of Just Seen It, offers a wide range of professional acquisition and post-production solutions. Learn more at aja.com/PTV.